Hi, Alex here from Rebeloper.com, and in this episode we are going to continue on showing some HUDs, more specifically some advanced stuff. So let's get started. Okay, here we are inside our Xcode project and we have already added some awesome HUDs with the help of MBProgressHUD. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then go ahead and take a look at this awesome repo MBProgressHUD on GitHub and maybe take a look at the previous videos so you know how you can install it and add it into your project. In this episode, we are going to continue and show you how you can add some more advanced HUDs. So let's take a look at where we left off, and it is our cancellation example. So let's just scroll down to the already empty prepared cancellation example function and let's start adding our HUD. So first of all, let's type in let. And to view, it needs to be a UI view, so I would just simply copy this out from the previous static function and of course fix this on the switch statement. Okay, here we go. And then we need to add here on view and animated true. Okay, now next up is that we should set our HUD's mode to, well, we need to set it to .determinate because we are going to show a determinate HUD, and whenever we would feel like it, we want to cancel it out. Okay, next up, well, let's add a label HUD.label.text. And we should add here loading. Pretty straightforward if you were watching the previous video. Okay, now next up is the trickier part. Now we need to add a button, a cancel button of course. This is fairly simple with MBProgressHUD. You just type in HUD.button. And that is, well, I believe we need to add here set title. And of course we can set an image too if we wanted to, but we are going to set the title. And of course you can see that here in MBProgressHUD we have UI elements. So basically you can use those properties that those UI elements have. So we can set the title color, attributed title, we can set the background image and so on. For now we are going to set the title with a string, and I will just choose here cancel, and for, let me just go back there, and for the UI control state I will choose normal. So next up, let's add a target to our cancel button. So type in HUD button.add target, and it should be self, and our action should be bound selector. And here we need to provide an Objective-C method. We just type in here cancel work, and let's just continue for inside. Now we need to create this cancel work Objective-C function. So I will just copy this and just scroll all the way down, and let us just create a new Objective-C dot file private, well, not Objective-C, file private static function, and it will be named cancel work. And what we are going to do here is cancel our work. We are going to use our do something with progress. So first of all, let's add this to our cancel example function. So we want to now grab our dispatch queue. Well, first of all, let me just show you how we did this in earlier versions. We are going to do something with our progress. So we grab our background thread, we do something with our progress, and then on the main thread we hide the animation. So let's just copy all of this out and paste it in here. Okay, now while we want to add this cancel work function, we need to alter our do something with progress function, and that is we need to add a file private static variable here. So file private static var, and it will be cancelled, or maybe rather yet is cancelled. Okay, and that will be false by default. So we add this is cancelled check to our progresses while loop. So if is cancelled, then simply we want to return, and that is it. Now when we tap on the button, we want to set the is cancelled to true, so we may return this line. So if the cancel work button has been pressed, then we set the is. Otherwise, when we launch the HUD another time, next time, then we want to set by default the is cancelled boolean to false on first launch. Okay. Now that is it, and let us just see if we are setting this up correctly, and we will just select our iPhone 10 simulator here, and then we are just building and running, and let's see how our cancellation example works. Okay, and let us just select with action button, and as you can see it goes through our determinate HUD. Now let us try to cancel it before it does that, and it did that. Okay, good stuff. Now let's move on to our next example, and that is our mode switching example. And for that, let us just run our example app here. Let me show you how that looks like. Well, basically we are showing more than one HUD type, or more than one type of HUD. So let's tap on mode switching, preparing, loading, cleaning up, and after that a completed progress HUD with a custom UI controller, with a custom view example. Okay, now what we want to do here is, first of all, let us do that preparing HUD. So let's just copy and paste. It will be an indeterminate, so let's just go up all the way here, and let's use this one. Copy and pasting is really good if you do know what you are copying and pasting. Let's solve the on view issue again. Let's just scroll back up and then do the same here too. Okay, now we want to add a label to our HUD showing preparing. Now let us copy all of this dispatch thing, because we want to do our work on the background thread. Now we don't want to do something with progress, we want to do something with mixed progress in HUD. So let us just let's just copy this out, and let's create a new function. Now what we want to do now is let that preparing HUD show for, let's say, 2 seconds. So we want to sleep for 2 seconds at first. Next up, and let me just see how that goes. Let's tap on that. We are preparing. Okay, next up we are loading. Okay, now for the loading I will just copy out our, let's see here, we have our bar, well, not the determinate, annular determinate should be fine. So we are altering the HUD, okay, and then scroll down here. We are altering the HUD to be an annular determinate mode. So let us just grab our dispatch queue here. Okay, and of course we want to add a label to our HUD saying that is loading, I believe. Let me just tap on it again, so I will preparing and loading it is. Okay, now the next up is another completed one. So again we are typing here dispatch queue.main.async, and then it is HUD.mode equals to, and it will be an indeterminate, and the HUDs.label .text will be equals to, and I believe cleaning up. Let us just check for that. Okay, mode switching, preparing, loading, cleaning up, and finally completed. So for that we are going to use a custom view, and I will just simply copy out the custom views code and just scroll back up and find that one. Here it is. Here it is. We have a label, b squared, and a custom view. Let's just paste it in here, and instead of success we are typing in done for the label, and that should be it. Now we want to, well, these will not be good because they are shown at the exact time and moment. So we want to add some sleep to it. So let's just copy out this chunk of code. Well, maybe add the progress to 0 and add it to our determinate label. And we can do this on our background thread. We will cut this is cancelled because we don't have a cancel button here. Now after that we want to, well, we want to sleep for, let's say, another 3 seconds after the cleaning up is done. Well, we are showing the cleaning up, and finally we want to sleep for another 2 seconds. Well, let us sleep for 2 seconds here when we are showing the custom view, and that should be it. Now we want to add our do something mixed with progress and make sure that we are hiding it. Yeah, we are hiding it after we are done with the progress. Okay, now let's build and run this one, and let's see how that looks. Okay, let's tap on mode switching. It is preparing, loading, cleaning up, and finally it is done. Good stuff. Okay, now let's see if we have time. Yeah, we will take care of our windowExample and dimBackgroundExample and colorExample in this video, and we will lead the networking and determinateNSProgressExample to our next video. So in our windowExample, well, first let's talk about how this MBProgressHUD is presented. Well, it is on a view. Now you can do that by presenting it on a window too. Okay, we have just a few left: our windowExample, networkingExample, determinateNSProgressExample, dimBackgroundExample, and colorExample. So let's dive into our windowExample. Now, what is our windowExample all about? Well, if you remember, and I'm sure you do, we are presenting our HUDs on a UI view. Now we can do that by the same way by presenting it on our window. Now for that we want to add another parameter here in our HUDs controller, when we tap on our items, and that is we add here, and that is our UI window, so our views.window. Okay, let's see if we have any optionals here. Yeah, we don't have it inside our HUD, so let us just scroll back up and add here. Let's hit Command B. It has failed. Maybe we need to add an optional here. Yes, we do. Let's fix this. Better yet, let us not unwrap this, and let's have a guard let statement here. And if we don't have it, then let us just return, and on window it should be equal to window. Command B again to let's see if it has succeeded, and it did. So let's go back to our HUD file, and now we have access to this on view window, and we will add this here. And let's complete our function down below. Our window example on window, and it should be a UI window. Okay, let's hit one last time a Command B. Okay, build has succeeded. Now we can create our HUD equals MBProgressHUD dot show added, and now we can replace this UI view with our on window, and animated it should be true. Let's build and run and see if all of this worked, and as you can see it did. Okay, and well, the rest of it should be like this indeterminate, well, the first one, and I just simply copy this out and paste it in our window example. Okay, let's test it out. For whatever reasons you might be using this on a window, you can do that. Okay, there it is, 5 seconds of a HUD. Okay, let's go back and see our networking example. Now for our networking example, we are going to fetch some well, info, or maybe download something from the web. And I have prepared this function ahead, and it looks something like this. Let me just copy and paste this, and we will just go through all of this. I don't want to type this out because we are already in the minutes for this video, so I will just go through this. So it takes in our Progress HUD. It creates a URL session, and that is default. We create a URL, and that is a simple URL with a zip file. And then if we don't get this URL, then we present our HUD with the text mode, and we add a label to it, network error, and the details label, please check your internet connection and try later. This is quite important, so you get the response back to your user, and this HUD then hides after 3 seconds. Okay, if you do have that URL, then you are creating a task with this session, and it will be a download task with our URL. And we get back a URL, a response, and an error object. Now, if the error is not nil, then we will print out the error, and again we show, well, we modify the HUD, and it will be displaying our label text and our details label, and of course we hide it. Now, if the task did succeed, now we don't have an error, then we have our HUD's custom view added with the text label of done, with a UI image, and we hide it after 3 seconds. Okay, and don't forget that you need to resume, well, call resume upon this task that you have created. Now, this is fairly easy, maybe complicated for some of us, but we have our network with Progress function setup, and we will use that in our networking example. So what we want to do first, let me just go and see where we are. Yeah, we want to add, first of all, let me just double check on my cheat sheet here. Yeah, we want to add a label with downloading, and I'll just simply copy and paste this if we are already here and you already know this code. We are creating a HUD, we are adding a downloading text to its label, and finally we are doing some work. And of course we need to take care of our on view UI view. Okay, here we go. And finally in the switch statement, make sure not to copy the on window. Okay, and now we are ready to test this out. So it will be our networking example. Okay, and here it is, our NS URL session downloading, and it is done. Okay, pretty good stuff. Okay, one last thing, and I will just show this to you. I will just turn off my Wi-Fi and again try to fetch that file. Okay, as you can see, networking error, please check your internet connection. So the error handling worked. Okay, let me go back again online. Good stuff. Now let us move on to our NS progress example. We are going to build a determinate progress example. And let me just show you what we are going to do. Let's just copy out all of this code because it's quite a little chunk of code and I will go through it. First of all, let's fix our on view. Let's just scroll back up and again fix these errors. Now here we have our determinate HUD with a loading text, and now we are going to create a progress object that has a total unit count of 100. We add our progress object to our HUD, and then we are going to add a button, and that button has a cancel label. Well, it sets the title to cancel. And here, as you can see, we are adding the target not to self as we did in the cancel example. We are adding the target to our progress object, and the selector will be progress.cancel because we will want to cancel that progress. And of course, it is touched up inside. Now, as usual, we grab our background thread and do some work, and we will need to build this function out with a progress object. And after that, we hide that. And let me just show you that, do some work with progress object. Let's jump to definition. And let me just copy this out. We are copying, pasting a lot of code here, but what matters is that you do understand it. So here we have our progress, and we are just simply decrementing it, and if we have is cancelled, then we are breaking it. Pretty straightforward, ordinary progress stuff. Okay, now let us just build and run this. Let me go back all the way up here. Okay, and let's see how this looks. Okay, and let me just scroll this up and determine it with NS progress. Here we are loading, and if we wanted to, then we can cancel it out. Let's tap on it again and wait for it to, well, load all the way up. And when it loads, then we are just simply going to hide the HUD. Okay, let's see it in action. There we go. Okay. Next up is that we want to dim the background. And for this we are going to, well, use a simple HUD, the first one, an indeterminate, and just simply copy this out. Let me just scroll all the way down and paste it in here. So we have here an indeterminate HUD. And to dim the background, we need to set two things. One is the style and the other one is the tint color. Okay, now HUD.style. Oh, I need to fix the on view again because I don't get completions. Okay, here we are. HUD.backgroundView.style equals to, and here we have two options, a blur option and a solid color. For this we will use our solid color, and finally we will add our HUD.backgroundView.color equals to, well, let's see, UI color, and we want to use white. Well, not white, but the function is white. We will use 0.0, which represents total black, and the alpha value should be 0.1. Now let's build and run and see how that looks. Okay, let's just scroll that up, dim background, and I don't know if you kind of see it now. When if we do have, let me just show you as a proof. I will set this alpha value to 0.7 so we may see it visually that this actually works. Let's dim the background. Here you go. It has been dimmed. Okay, let's change back to 0.1 and let's move on to our last example, our color example. Let me just copy all of this out. So we will change, and maybe delete all of this, we will change the color of our, well, the label that is on display, and maybe the spinning wheel. Well, let's just fix this for now. So this is quite simple, so you just type in HUD.content color, and let's say it should be purple. Let me just build and run and see that all of the content is indeed purple. Okay, let's just type select colored, and as you can see here we have a purple HUD. Okay, maybe let's add. Okay, and let's build and run one last time, and let's see how that looks. Good stuff. Now, in the next video and final video, we are going to take a look at some of the features that MBProgressHUD has that we couldn't quite cover in these examples, and they are not really covered in the Objective-C examples either. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and of course visit rebeloper.com, and as usual I will see you in the next one.